Savage.
Is summertime in the Savage Nation. Actually, what is the date already? July 6th. Can you imagine that? July 4th is over. We're into summer, and the geniuses in the media are badgering on day and night about CNN as though that's the only thing going on in the world. How much can you take of this? Day after day after day after day, commenting week after week after day about a cable news channel. Last week it was about MSNBC. This week it's about CNN, and we're supposed to pay attention to it. Whatever happened to North Korea threatening to send an ICBM with a nuclear missile on it? What about that Navy ship that hit a freighter the size of a glacier? No report on that. And we're talking about MSNBC and CNN. This is the best we can do. Not I. Never forget that I am not a conservative. I am what? An independent. Did you hear what I just said to you? Michael Savage identified himself as an independent in the radio landscape when I began in 94. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a left-winger. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I always said I was an independent. And the point is that the media cartels are almost identical. The media cartels of elitism. When you turn on the radio or the TV today, what is it you think you're getting? You think you're hearing a debate between left and right that's going to help you make informed decisions about the things that affect your daily lives? Wrong. Here is the sad fact of the matter. There's almost no differences between the cartels that run the media. The media right and the media left are both elitists. They're both exclusive. They both have their cartels. And if you're not a member of their clique, you are ostracized and banned from any inclusion into their circles. They act as if you don't exist. They treat you as if it is the ex-Soviet Union. And this is not exclusive to one side or the other. It makes no difference whether you're on the right side on the radio or on the left side on CNN. It's an identical mindset. They are all run by and all are wealthy elitists pretending they're part of the average man's world, Joe Sixpack. And then they act as if they're speaking for Joe Sixpack. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed there is no difference between the right-wing media and the left-wing media with regard to exclusivity and elitism? Well, they pretend that they're at odds, but they seem to go to the same parties. They seem to run in the same circles. They all cozy up to the same people in power and act like they're one of you. Well, we know how they do it on the left and how they use their media tools to support Occupy movements, Black Lives Matter, and so on, to bring about destruction in the streets. Well, on the right, there's very little difference. What you have is deaf, dumb, and blind on the right. One who can't hear you, but tells you that he does. One who didn't graduate high school, but pretends to be a political expert and a historical genius. And another one who sees every solution in the Founding Fathers. It's not that simple. These issues are complicated, and America's population has changed. And they go back again to the Founding Fathers. Let me tell you, there's not some magical, nostalgic, antique solution to all of our problems. That is the way the elites want you to think, whether on the right or the left. And that is what they're doing on the right and on the left. And where does that leave you? Struggling to make it a once great nation, while politicians and media fakers make decisions that make it harder for you to live your life and get help from a media cartel on the right and the left to convince you that their side is right. You listen to this show, The Savage Nation, for many reasons. Well, one of the main reasons, I think, is because you're going to get here what you cannot get in any other area of the media. What you get here is not driven by talking points that elitists come up with in think tanks and pass out for their minions to parrot whatever message it is that they want to brainwash you with. But here I try to bring you some original thoughts and the bare truth as I see it, as I see it, as I see it. And I've told you this over and over again. Neither side will acknowledge the Savage Nation because I refuse to play their game. I will not sell myself out for acceptance into their fake clubs. Do you know what I'm talking about? I hope you do. This is the Savage Nation. I'm not asking you to comment on this. We have an interesting guest for you at the bottom of the hour, someone who has been banned by the right and the left. That is correct. This guy, Milo, he was banned in Berkeley. They almost burnt half the campus down because they didn't like his message to show you their tolerance. Guess what? He's not allowed on any of the right-wing radio shows because he's not a member of the cartel. His agent is not representing those in the right-wing cartel, so he's not on their shows. And you think that there's a difference between the right and the left? you are mistaken. And because Milo is an iconoclast, an outsider like I am, I decided to give him a break and have him on the show and help him sell his book. No, what's his book? I don't know the name of his book. I really forgot the name of the book. We need to look the book up. Dangerous. Well, I don't think he's really that dangerous. I think the left is really dangerous. But the interesting thing is he's been banished by the same shows that have banished me. And I decided, therefore, to create my own little world. So I'll have him on the show at the bottom, and we'll see what he has to say about the media cartels on the right and the left. But I really want to talk about some other topics today, which is the difference between real religion and religion incorporated.